Okay, so now today we look at the already shared, no? Okay. Okay, I think for Theravada Buddhists, I think particularly for those Sri Lankan tradition, I think you know these Jaya-maṅgala Gāthas. You know these suttas quite well, and we know that in this Gatha verse, there are altogether 8 stanza, 8 verses, and if you look at this verse, 8 verses, each verse has 4 lines, 4 line, and each verse has unique stories. It's about the life of the Buddhas, the Buddha's life story of how Buddhas overcome each obstacles and challenged with his virtues. Okay, so and of course for Theravada Buddhists, right? We usually chant this Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā is mainly for bringing success and happiness. In all our endeavor, right? Business, everything that we embark on. Then you will notice that at the end of each verse, it says, okay, by this power, may there be, the joyous victory to you. Okay, so yeah, now today we chant these suttas very often. You see, and of course, when we chant these suttas, it says that we have to chant with clear, right? Clear and pure intention, and this one is really helpful, right? Particularly to protect, the chant, to protect the seeker, by bringing joyous victories around. And someone may ask, what is the origin of these suttas? Where do you find this gatha? Do you have any suttas that you can take it from? But of course, I tried to look around and I couldn't find it. Yeah, and it seems that there is no origin of this stanza. And someone proposed, and someone said that they could be composed by a Sri Lankan poet, right? Composed by Sri Lankan poet, follow what they call this oral recitation tradition. It means that when you recite these suttas, it's very easier for you to pick up quickly. You see, because these suttas follow strictly according to the Pāli meter. Right? You look at afterwards, we will recite it. I will explain to you, how you compose a Pāli verses according to the Pāli meters. Yeah, because especially in this gatha, there are these Pāli, what they call Pāli meter. You see, then each line, usually composed, according to how many syllable and how many measure. You have to count the measure in each line, and of course, each, as we have seen earlier many times, right? Each line it follow what we call this long and short syllable, right? Long and short syllable, or sometimes we call it light and heavy syllable, right? So in this way, when you have a certain syllable with a number of measure, right, then it will, what they call this, it bring about what they call this, certain certain beat, right? Certain beat, just like someone, recite, in the chanting, just like in Theravada tradition, we do recite this, and that recitation follows certain syllable and certain what they call this measure. Okay, so we will look at it how this poet very skillfully composed, and it's very beautiful, follow according to this Pāli metric composition. Okay, if you look at this, you see, I mean, this is just a beginning part. If you look at this, each verse has 4 lines, and this is the first line. First line, if you look at this first line, it has altogether 14 syllables. Okay, 14 syllables. You see, How do I put it in 14 syllables? Bahong sahas mabhi ning mitasa yudanta. Okay, if you count like this, how many? 14 syllables, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so this is what we call one syllable. You know, it means that one syllable here you can pronounce like ba, hong, sahas, mabhi, ning, mita, sa, yu, dan, tang. Okay, so 14 syllable. Yeah, then again, each line, you know, besides 14 syllable, then in this Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā, you have what you call 21 measure. Okay, well, 21 measure, how do you derive that 21 measure? For those heavy one or the long syllable, you know, this dash here, of course, this one is according to the Western, you know, the Europe, what we call the convention. Yeah? So dash, this one is according to Europe to convention, but of course, according to Indian, you know, it's just opposite, right? But we follow to the Europe convention. Here, the long here, you know, represented by 2 measure. You count like 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Usually the end of it is 2. So you calculate all this, you get 21 measure. Okay, so you can see that for all these, you know, Buddha Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā, you have each line 14 syllable, 21 measure. Okay.
Sorry, Bhante, how to count 21?
Yeah, because I can't use annotation. Otherwise, I would have used annotation. So you have to look at it. You count yourself. Yeah, those long one is 2. 2. This short one is 1. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay. So you calculate, you count all this to get all together. You get 21 measure. Okay, so okay.
The line underneath one count is 2.
Yellow, I said already, ma.
Oh, okay.
You count yourself. Only 1 and 2 only. Okay. So you see, each verse has 4 lines, right? And then you see, and I think, yeah, mostly you find 4 lines for each gathas. And then, you know, for each line, right? In this case, each line, this one they constructed according to, particularly for this Buddha Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā, you have 14 syllable and 21 measure, okay, in each line, okay? And then you have the long and short syllable, okay? Long and short syllable. Yeah, so this is how I put it. You see, put dash here mean long, okay? But this one is according to the Europe convention. Indian is just opposite, okay? Opposite. Okay.
Bhante, Bhante, may I ask you for the Mangala knee, the knee, maybe I missed it. There's a 3 count, is it for the knee? Then you come to 21 measure.
What do you call? You just count. 2.
Yeah, I counted. But if I count the knee as a 2, only 20. So I was thinking, is that knee as a 3? No.
No lah. This one not nim. Knee is 1. This one. Oh yeah, this one. The second one is it tang tejasa bhavatute Jaya-maṅgalani. Okay, this one is exception. Okay, because according to the composition of Pāli meter, at the end of each line, whether it's long and short, it usually counted as long. Okay, yeah. So in this case, like Te Jaya-maṅgalani, even though here is short, but you can count as long. Okay, it's just like when we recite towards the end, we will try to drag it, like tang te jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. You cannot just stop like that, ma. You tend to drag it. You see? Yeah.
Bante, the la, that one is the la long, so it's a two counting, Bante. Even though you don't put dash underneath. The Mangalani, the la, that is the two counting.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
This
you
is
don't
long.
put bar. Must put bar underneath, isn't it?
Yeah. This is long. Yeah. So,
Thank you, Bante.
I didn't put, but here is long. Okay. So when you calculate all these things, you get 21 measure. Okay. It's not easy, to compose this kind of Pāli Gāthā. That's why of all the Pāli Gāthā, I think Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā is the most beautiful one. Okay, it's very systematic. Each line has 14 syllable, 21 measure. Okay.
Bhante, sorry, Bhante. Just to understand this word meter. Meter means what, Bhante?
The meter lah. M-E-T-R-E meter. There are certain meter, you follow. It's just like, meter. I don't know how to say it. Certain metric composition.
Music thing to count the person.
Yeah,
Bhante, can you try to reshare again, see whether the annotation works? I just turn on. Can you share again?
Okay.
I see whether it working or not.
No, cannot. It's okay because usually you have to restart, then it works.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. Then no need to use. No need to use. Then I don't know how to show. But anyway, you look at this this one. Yeah, you look at this one. So, but anyway, if you look at some other the Gāthā, they also follow certain syllable and certain metric. I mean, they follow the Pāli metric composition that has that follow certain syllable and measure. Okay, measure means the number. So in this case, when you recite Bahong Sahasmabini Mita Sayodan Tang, this it has certain rhythm. It has certain rhythm. Yeah, usually when you have this kind of Pāli meter, then you can recite it. If there is no such Pāli meters, then you cannot recite it because there is no standard, the metric composition. Okay, they are not following how many syllable and how many measure count, something like that. Okay, so yeah. So this, and usually at the end of the line here, right? Mangalani. Usually it is counted as two measure, whether it is long and short. Okay, so in this case, ni here is short, but it's counted as long. That's why the symbol here is slightly different. You have long and short. Okay, then in this case, we usually recite as long. Okay, so yeah. Okay, like Tam te jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. You see, when I recite, usually the long one I will recite as two measure, two count, like Tang te jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala, like that, no? Okay, yeah. So you got it right? Yeah, we need a whiteboard, but anyway, cannot. Okay, and another thing, you see, I spot when I was analyzing all these structures, I noticed in each of these lines, but because they want to follow certain the metric, certain number, certain count, certain measure, then there are certain words omitted, so like in this case, like I put in the red color, Giri mekalang udeta gora sasenamarang, right? Then because they want to follow the 14th line, Then instead of Giri, they put Gri, considered as one syllable. Gri, you see. But that doesn't make much, you know, different. But we still can recite. Yeah. So I just only make a slight difference here. Yeah. And then of course there are also some of the places like the second verse, like Gora Pana Lavaka Maka Matadayakam. You see some texts they put Gorang. Okay. Panalawaka Maka Mata. Then this one is become short. Okay, become short. You see, you have the like ATTH, ADDH here. Then in this case, but because they want to follow certain meter, you know, in order to make it 14, 21 measure, then this 2T here, 1T is removed. Okay. Yeah. It's just like, you know, Buddha, yeah, I don't know how. Okay, I'll just give an example. I think another one, I think, you know, I tried the whiteboard here. Like in this case, another example. Hey. Whoa. Etang Buddha.
Bhante, can't see your whiteboard.
Can't see my whiteboard?
Yes.
Can't see my whiteboard? I already share, you know. Oh, sorry. Eh?
Bhante, I can see.
You can see?
Can
see.
Then what?
Cannot.
You can go to the view option and choose the whiteboard.
Yeah. Already here?
Yes. Okay, now have to choose the option.
Okay. Yeah. You see, like Sabba papasa akaranang kusalasa upasampada sachita pariyodapanang etang buddhanang sasana. Okay. Usually we find buddhanang sasana. Okay. This is the Pali. But because of the Pali metric, usually they remove this A. Then it become etang buddhana sasana. Okay. It become etang. So M is removed. That is because they follow certain metric. Okay, so this usually this M dot you know, is removed, you know, in order to fit in. And you cannot say that they are wrong because they are in the verse and they follow, you know, certain metric, certain syllable and certain measure. So there are certain words is dropped. Okay, like it become etang buddhana sasana. Okay, I mean, for those who recite, I mean, this one is quite common for many Buddhists. Sabba papasa akaranang kusalasa upasampada sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasana. You see, then in that way, when you recite it, you feel comfortable, right? Suddenly, when you have etang buddhanang sasana, then the whole thing becomes not so smooth, right? Yeah. So this is, I think, hey, why missing again? Missing. Anyway. Wait, quick here. Okay. Anyway, someone quick mind is okay. So in this case, like gorang, in this case, gorang is draw. But there are certain texts also, they follow this. When they follow this, the red one, then another conjunct consonant here, 1T is removed. That is also possible in some cases. Okay, so there are certain rules apply, you know, in the verse. Of course, it's not easy for beginner, but I just let you know. Yeah, you can have this Gorang pana lawaka maka mata dayakang, or you have also gorang pana lawaka maka mata dayakang. Also can. This one is allowed in the Gatha composition, and the rest are okay. The rest are okay. There are few only, so we try to recite. Okay. They are all 1421. All 1421. All 1421. Okay, all 14. Say like, for example, if you don't know the long and short, then the whole thing mess up. So this, so you have to be very accurate and very precise in your Pāli. Okay, very precise in your Pāli. All 1421. All 1421. Okay, all 1420. Even the last one also 1421. So that makes this Buddha Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā is beautiful. Okay. Okay. Bahong sahasmabhining mitasa yodantang Giri Mekalang Odeta Gora Sasena Marang Dana Didama Vidina Jitva Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Maharatire Mabiyut Jita Sabarati Gora Panalavakama Kamata Dayakang Kanti Sudanta Vidina Chitwa Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Nala Giri Gajavara Atimata Bhutang Da Vagicha Kamasani Vasuda Runandang Metambo Kavidina Chittava Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Okita Kagamati Hatta Sudarunandang Davanti Yojana Patang Angulimala Vandang Ide Bisankatamano Jitva Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Katavana Katamudarang Ivagapiniyam Chinchaya Duttavachanang Janakaya Maje Santena Somma Vidina Jitva Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Sajang Vihaya Matisa Chakavada Ketong Vada Veropita Mana Ati Anda Botang Pahanya Padi Pajalito Jitva Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Nando Pananda Bojaga Vibudang Mahedi Putena Terra Bojage Nadama Payanto Ido Padesa Vidina Jitva Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala Dokahadeti Bojagena Sudat Tahadang Brahmang Visuddhijatimi Devaka Bidana Jnana Gadena Vidina Jitava Munindo Dante Jasa Bhavatu Te Jaya-maṅgala Etapi Buddha Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā Yo vachano dina dine sarate matandi Itavana neka vivida nichopadavani Moka suka adigameya naro sapanyo. Okay. Of course, you can recite, according to the Sri Lankan tone. That's because they follow certain syllable and the certain measure count. So you can recite it. It has what you call, you have the right, you call the prosody or melody, certain melody, a very sweet, very nice melody. So I can recite one or two for you. Like this, the first one. I think most of you know this very well. Bahong, bahong. Low down a bit. Bahong sahasamabini mita sayodantang Giri me kalang odeta gorang sase namarang dana didamma vidina jitava munindo tante jasa Bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, yeah, it's very long, so okay, now we go to the grammatical analysis and translation, right, and also the commentary, and the stories. Each verses has very good stories behind. Now, this is the one that you find in the verse. Now I split the sandhi. Okay, for example, in this case, bahung sahasama abhinimita sayudhanda. Then bahung sahasam abhinimita ayudhang tam. Giri mekalang udeta ghora sasena maran is okay, right? Dana adi dhamma vidina chittava munindo tante jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. You see, this is how I split the sandhi. Okay, the reason I split the sandhi is because I want to explain to you. Okay, I want to explain to you. You see, the meter composition, Pali meter composition is one thing, then analysis is another thing. You know, sometimes when you analyze, sometimes because you want to fit it in the Pali verses, you know, you have to remove certain things. I think that is quite common in the Pali verses. That's why, you know, I'm quite reluctant to teach, you know, the Pali verses to Pali beginners, because a lot of irregularities. And sometimes you may ask, why this, why that? You see, this is how, you know, in the Pali verses, because they want to fit in, you know, number of syllable and the measure. That's how, you know, certain words has to be removed or has to be dropped. Okay, for that reason. Okay, so in that case, it's not recommended for a Pali beginner. But anyway, we are reciting this. We don't want to become a Pali expert, but at least through my analysis, you understand what it is. Okay, so I think our class is very important, because in the past, like in the Mangala Suttas, you know, they also have certain Pali meter, but I didn't say that, because I think we are not ready yet, you see. And usually to teach this kind of Pali meters, usually we will go to the Pali Advanced. But for our class, there is no Pali beginner and advanced, all Pali. Okay, now this is how I split all the sandhi. Okay, I split all the sandhi. Then you can see the whole things very clearly. Okay. Then in this case, then you see bahong sahasang abhi ning mitasa ayu dang tang Giri me kalang odeta gora sa sena marang dana adi dhamma vidina jitava monindu. You see the whole thing, you don't even find the verb here. If there is no verb, then how? Then we look for the subject, okay? Yeah, of course, you do find the past participle. Yeah, but we look at the noun here. The noun here is Munindu. Okay, the Munindu is from the Muni and Indu, Inda. So it's a lot of Muni. Okay, Inda. So it's a lot of Muni. Okay, it's another name of the Buddha. Okay, so Munindu, the Lord of Sage, we call it Muni. And Chittava, right? This is a possessive noun. It's from Chitta. So when you add the vat, mean the one who possesses victory. So he is what do you call the one who has conquered. Okay, so this is the meaning. Chitta is like Malay, Jaya and Chitta. From the root G, mean to win over. Okay, to gain victory. Right? So Chittava. So then, yeah, this is also a noun, but it has the verbal function, Chittava. So we can say the Lord of Sage has conquered. Okay, has conquered. Yeah, then it's adjective to Minindu. Okay, has conquered. Tang, it. Okay, it's a pronoun, it. And you see, has conquered it, right? Then after that, how? Yeah, because they are in the verse, so they are quite irregular. You see, sometimes when you translate, you have to be very careful. Like Dana Adi Dhamma Vidina. You see, Vidina, this is an instrumental. So it's from Vidhi, like in due form. It means that by means of. Okay, by means of. By means of what? Dana Adi Dhamma. Dana means giving, right? Adi means others or etc. Dhamma means some other virtues. Okay, it means that dana and other virtues. Okay, like for example, dana, sila, bhavana, etc. You see, so these are the good virtues. You see, started from dana, adi dhamma. So then you can say that by means of, okay, or through the generosity and other virtues. Okay, then you see, they're also in the accusative. You see, it here Giri Mekala is also referred to it. Who is it? I think we will come to that. I think in our Buddhist stories, there is one elephant called Giri Mekala. Okay, with Giri Mekala before the Buddha's, attain enlightenment, but while he was struggle under the Bodhi tree, so it's a Mekala, Giri Mekala. Okay. Then, okay, so this one. And Odeta Gora Sasena Mara, see, all jump here and there. Because they want to fit in according to the meter. You see, fit according to the syllable. So they are, they are putting here and there. So you have to, it's like a puzzle. You have to find it. And of course, you have to know the history. You have to know the stories. If you don't know the story, you don't know how to put them back. Yeah. So in this case, you see, Udeta Gora Sasena Mara. Mara means the Mara, evil. Okay. What is this evil? You see, you have the PPP in front and follow the noun and follow the noun, follow the noun, you see. So this is a compound, right? Udeta Gora Sasena Mara. Then you have to interpret this compound. Okay. Yeah, you see, Sasena, Sa means together with Ami, Gora means welling. Okay, welling. And the Odeta means reason. Reason. You see, so you have to interpret it. Okay, so has conquered it. It means it has conquered the elephant, Giri-maṅgala, which is Mara, dwelling, risen together with army. Okay? You understand, right? Together with army. And then again, you have like Abhinimita Sayudhantam and Bahung Sahasa. Bahung means many. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here again, Abhinimita Sayudhantam. Sa ayu is it short A and long A become long A. It means that together with what? Weapon. Ayudha, weapon. Abhinimita mean this from the root ma is PPP, right? It means that the what they call created weapon. Okay, created weapon. And marched 1,000. Sahasa means 1,000. It means that a lot. Many 1,000 created weapons. Okay. So these are together with many 1,000 created weapons. So you have to look here and there. Then tang te jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, here tang is a connective particle. Mean then, that is, okay, or then, that kind of meaning. Tejasa is by the power. Tejasa is from tejas, right? Power. And tejasa is instrumental by the power. That is by the power. Bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. Bhavatu te is imperative. Okay. May there be, right? May there be what? Jaya-maṅgala. Jaya means victory. Mangala means the blessing. Sometimes people translate like the joyous victory. I think that's also quite good. Or you can say, the blessing of victory. Okay. Then te is to you. Okay, enclitic. So you can say that may there be joyous victory to you. So this is protective, the chant here, usually. So the Lord of Sage has conquered it by means of generosity and other virtues. Who is it? It's elephant Giri-maṅgala, which is Mara, dwelling, risen together with army, together with many 1,000 created weapons. You see, together is because it's hidden inside Sa. Yes, Sa, together with many 1,000 created weapons. That is by the power. May there be joyous victory to you. Okay. So this is the first verse. Now we look at the stories of this verse. So we know that the Buddha's on the eve of his enlightenment. We know that the Prince Siddhartha, he was a bodhisattva. He was meditating under the Bodhi tree. Okay, and then with resolute determination, right, to attain the goal. And then it says that at that time, the Mara, okay, the Mara, the evil, appeared as 1,000 arms warrior, okay, and seated on elephant called Giri-maṅgala, and surrounded by the huge army. Okay, calm. You see, well, Prince Siddhartha was meditating under the Bodhi tree. Then the Bodhisattvas defeated those Mara that he has fulfilled these 10 perfection, parami. Okay, so what are these 10 perfection? Is generosity, morality, renunciation, wisdom, energy, passion, truthfulness, determination, loving kindness, and equanimity. That's why it said by the power adi dhamma, by the power, etc. You see here, it says that by means of generosity and other virtues. Okay, it means that the has conquered by means of 10 parameters, 10 perfection. Started from generosity here. Started from generosity. So morality, renunciation. So these are the sequence. Okay, started from generosity. So because of this, the Buddha the Prince Siddhartha has completed all these 10 perfection, has fulfilled that he gained a victory. Okay, he gained a victory. So all this Mara was defeated. Okay, by by virtue of this 10 perfection. Okay, so this is the stories. Then we look at the second one. Yeah, I have this alternate due to the meter. Marati reka ma biyu chita sabrati. Gor pana lavaka maka mata dayaka. You see, sometimes you also can due to the meter you can put like gorang pana lavaka maka mata dayaka. You see this T, you notice or not? Here, ATTHADDHA. The correct word is ATTHADDHA. Okay, this is a correct word. But because of the meter, okay, then this T, one T is removed because they want to fit in the number, they want to fit in the count, okay, number of count there, the measure count. So they remove the T. That is also possible. Okay, that's also possible. Okay, so you also sometimes you find gorang panalawaka maka mata dayakang or gorang panalawaka mata dayakang. Okay, so when you count these two, they all get to altogether 21 measure. Okay, 21 measure, 21. So sometimes when you know we learn Pali, we have to be very accurate in our Pali writing. If your Pali writing heavy and light or long and short vowel is wrong, then the whole thing become very blurred. You know, we don't know how to count. You see, so you have to be very, very exact. So that's why, you know, in our Pali learning, we have one for chanting and we have one for our analysis. Then when you compare these two, you will find the difference. Okay, so in this case, you know, of course, I don't expect you to know all these things, but I explained to you, you know, these are the possible alternative. Then you cannot say that, oh, Bhante, yours is wrong, that one is correct. No. That is because in the meter, you know, there are ways, you know, to fit in all these things. You know, you will find like the one that the obvious is matada, you know, attad. Then the one is become the without T, they become attad. Also, of course, doesn't make much difference. But when you put in the meter, then you can see the difference. Okay, so this is how I split the sandhi. Mara atirekang abiyujita sabarating. Gorang pana alavaka makang atadayakang. Okay, so kanti sudanta vidina jitawa manindu. Tante jasa bahutite Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, so I split the sandhi. Now I analyze the sandhi based on this the split sandhi. Okay, so same thing also. Then there's no finite verb. Then we start with Jitawa Munindu. Okay, the Lord of Sage has concurred. Okay, has concurred by what? Kanti Sudanta Vidhina, by means of. Okay, by means of Kanti, by means of passion. Okay. Okay, yeah, but anyway, you can put anyway. Then has conquered what? Has conquered the yaka. Okay, the yaka. And then atada. You see the atada, more correct is ATTHA. But you look at most of the chanting books, only one T, you know. So, but now we split the sandhi, so we had to put the word back. 2T. So atada yaka means atada means stubborn yaka. Has conquered stubborn yaka, stubborn demon. And then makang is merciless. Okay, the name called Alavaka. Okay, I think this is very, very famous stories. Yeah? Whenever I talk about the yaka, I will mention about this Alavaka. Okay, so yeah, the Lord of Sage has conquered the stubborn demon. Okay, and then Alavaka makang is also adjective, and it's also accusative. The object, right, is the merciless Alavaka. Okay, and then you see again you have the Ghora Pana Valley. Okay. Oh, who is Welling? No, I think I have to, sorry. This is more correct. Okay. This is more correct. Yeah, gorang, this is more correct because you are describing the stubborn demon, okay? Stubborn demon, merciless Avalaka, who is wailing, okay? It's also adjective. It's also accusative, wailing. And then here you have another one. Abi yujita sabarati. Sabarati means it's also accusative, all night. All night. Yeah? And then abi yujita is quarrel. Quarrel, sabarati, all night. You see, they're all very inconsistent, all scattered here and there. And then mara atireka. Mara means the evil, right? Atireka means more than evil. He is he's worse than the mara, okay? Atireka, more than evil. So it's also describing the yaka. So you see, the yaka has a lot of adjective. Who is he? The yaka, he's very stubborn, he's merciless, and he is wailing, and he is fighting whole night, and he is more than mara. So these are all adjectives describing the yaka, you see. But they can be everywhere. Okay. Who is wailing, quarrel all night more than mara? Okay. And then we look at this. Kandi Sudanta Vidina. This is a compound. Huh? So yeah, by means of Kanti means passion, and then Sudanta means well restrained, okay, or self-control, okay, restraint. Yeah, so the Buddhas has conquered this Alavaka by means of passion and self-control. Okay, so this is how, by this power, may there be joyous victory to you. So I think Buddhists know these stories, right? So here is the stories. Okay, here's the stories. And we know that in our Buddhist tradition, there is one very famous yaka. His name is called Alavaka, right? And he terrorized the people, asking for human sacrifice, right? And the Buddha visited the abode, okay, of this yaka. Then the yaka, okay, Alavaka, right, asked some question and threatened if the Buddha cannot satisfactorily answer his question, then he will, throw the Buddha's body, because he is very powerful, mighty power, right? Throw the Buddha's bodies across the river, you see, and tear out his heart. So you see, he's very powerful, Alavaka, very powerful. Then of course, and then Alavaka asked this question, okay, this 13th question. Then of course, Buddha was able to reply this 13th question. You look at this 13th question. You see, what is the best wealth to a man in this world? What is a good practice that brings happiness? What is the sweetest of all taste? What manner of living is the noblest? How does one cross the flood of rebirth? How does one cross the ocean of existence? How does one transcend unhappiness? How does one get purified? How does one acquire knowledge? How does one obtain wealth? How does one win fame? How does one gain friends? How does one not repent passing from this world to the next? Okay, so it seems not that difficult, right? So we want to know how Buddha replied. So this is more interesting. So this is the Buddha reply. Is that what is the best wealth to a man in this world? Then the Buddha said, confidence is the best wealth for a man in this world. Okay, confidence. So confidence. And what is a good practice that bring happiness? A good practice. Well-practiced Dhamma, okay, bring the most happiness. And what is the sweetest of all taste? The truth, the satya. Okay, the truth, the Four Noble Truth is the sweetest of all taste. And what manner of living is the noblest? Then living with wisdom. Okay, living with insight. Okay, one with insight. then he lived the noblest. And how does one cross the flood of rebirth? By confidence, okay? By confidence. Then we cross the flood of rebirth. Then how does one cross the ocean of existence? How? By heedfulness, apamadena, right? The Buddha said, apamadena sampadena, strive with diligence, okay? Then only one be able to cross the ocean of existence. And then how does one transcend unhappiness? By effort, okay? Virya, okay? Then how does one get purified? Okay, one purified by wisdom, okay? How to get purified? By through wisdom, through bhavana, through cultivation of mind. And how does one acquire knowledge? One acquire knowledge by reposing faith in the Arhat, listening to their teaching on the attainment of Nibbana with attentiveness and care. Okay, again, you can see a lot of Buddha said the confidence, the faith is very important. And then continue. How does one obtain wealth? By suitable work, resolutely perform the industrial. One acquired wealth, okay? Then how does one win fame? By truthfulness, okay? Then how does one gain friend? One who gain, one who gives, then you will gain more friends. You have more friends. So we have to learn how to give dana. So when we learn to give dana, then we get a lot of friends. We get a lot of friends. And how does one not repent, passing from this world to the next? Then talk about the 4 virtues. One has 4 virtues: truthfulness, righteousness, dhamma, and the steadfastness, ditti, and liberality, jago. Okay, we will not repent after that. Okay, so it means that we are still alive, right? We have to, fulfill these 4 virtues. Okay, yeah. So these are, then after this, then Alavaka was, subdued, and then become a very good disciple of the Buddhists. And he says that Alavaka also attained the Sotapanna. Okay, attain the Sotapanna. So this is how the Buddhas, tame, the Alavaka Yaka by the Kanti, by the Kanti, and the subdued, self-control, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the second story, right? Okay, so I leave it now to, do you have any question to ask? I know. Okay, so I stopped sharing for a while. So anybody want to share? Anybody want to ask question? If not, then we continue.
Bhante, I think there's one question by Sister Kanpek-Swan. She asked, when do we chant this sutta?
Oh, for all kind of blessing, yeah. Say like you start a new business, right? Or you can chant every day almost before you go to work. You can chant these suttas, and for all the good endeavor that you embark on, I think you can chant almost every day. You can chant in the early morning before you start work. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Bhante can explain more on the liberality. Okay, anyway, generally, this chaga, you can think of the meaning like the giving, like giving. I mean, brief lah, in brief. Okay, so you understand like that. The chaga mean you, even though when you have nothing to give, right? You still wants to give something to someone. You see, so that is the spirits of chaga. Okay, yeah, giving. When you have nothing to eat, thinking, but you think that some people need, more than you. You even wants to sacrifice yourself, to others. So Alavaka. Does Alavaka? No, Alavaka no meaning. It's just a name of the yakka, okay? Just a name of the yakka. Okay. So, all right. Then if there's no, then we continue. Okay, now we look at the third one. Okay. Nala giring gajavarang atimata buddhang dawagi chakamasani vasuda runandang metambose kavidina jitava munindum tante jasa bhavatu te Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, of course, if you want to chant for yourself, you can change the te to me. Okay, tante jasa bhavatu me. Okay, me to me. Te mean to you. Okay, Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, so this is how I split the Sunday. Nala giring, gaja varang, atimata buddha. That's okay. Davaki chakang asani wa sudarunandam. Metta ambu sekavidhina jitava munindu. Tante jasa bhatate Jaya-maṅgala. Okay. Hey. Oh, didn't adjust properly. All right. So you see, here same thing also, Jitava Munindu, the Lord of Sage has conquered, right? Has conquered. Then Metta Ambo Seka Vidina, by means of Seka sprinkling. Ambo mean water. Metta mean water of loving kindness. Yeah, by means of sprinkling the water of loving kindness. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I like this. Abhiseka. You had the word seka. A lot of people said, okay, Bhante, this is how in certain Buddhist countries, certain tradition, you see they have this sprinkling of water of loving kindness to devotees. If devotees come for blessing, usually monk will do abhiseka. This is the word seka. Seka. Okay, sprinkling of water. And then someone asked me, you see, how about in Tibetan tradition? You see, Tibetan tradition, they had a word called Kwanting. I don't know what is Kwanting. Oh yeah, they call it Kwanting, like consecration. What do you call Kwanting? Huh? It's something like that. You see, Tibetans are usually, people come, you see, and then ask for, we'll go, to the masters. And then we'll ask for abhiseka, we'll ask for the blessing, you see. Then the masters, take the pot, okay, with the water, and pour a little bit of water, onto your hand. And then once you receive the water, okay, the ambuseka, and then you flash, to your face and then your head as well, you see. So that process is called the seka. Seka. You see, but they use a very good term. They call Kwanting. It sounds very good. But Theravada, we call what do you call Suazuya, is it? And what do you call this? Hokkien.
Sa-ching, Bhante, is it?
Yeah, sa-ching. Hokkien call what?
Hokkien.
Yeah, in Chinese we call sa-ching. Sa-ching. It also has the same meaning. Okay, same meaning. I think probably it's coming from here. Eh? So by sprinkling of water of loving kindness. Okay, so this is a thing. And then what else? Okay, you see, has conquered. Conquered what? So these are all in the adjective. They are all in the accusative. They are all the object. Okay, so first we look at this. Nala giring gajawara. Okay, Gawara means the noble. Gaja means elephant, like Malay word. Gaja, elephant. The noble elephant. Name Nalagiri. Okay, has conquered the noble elephant. Okay, who is Nalagiri. Then again, you have Atimatta Bhuta. Bhuta, who was, okay, or comes to be who was, and Atimatta. Ati means excessive, matta means intoxicated. You see, who was, highly intoxicated. Okay, too much, much means intoxicated. So the Buddha has conquered the noble elephant Nalagiri, who was highly intoxicated, and Davaki Chakam. Oh no. Okay, then Asaniwa Sudarunanta. Okay, Sudarunanta is also accusative, right? It's terrible, right? It's terrible. Who was highly intoxicated, terrible, describing the Nalagiri, who was very terrible. Then Asaniwa, this wa is like what? Like these two things, like that Davakichaka, like the circle of forest. Asani mean thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Okay. For a Davaki means forest fire. Okay. And the Asani like Indra, thunderbolt. It means terrible, like the circle of forest fire and the thunderbolt. Eva. Okay. Eva. Wow. Then by this power, may there be joyous victory. So this is also another very important, very interesting stories, I think, known by all you. You see, the Lord of Sage has conquered by means of sprinkling a water of loving kindness the noble elephant, the Nalagiri, who was highly intoxicated, terrible, like a circle of forest fire, and thunderbolt. That is, by the power, may there be joyous victory to you. You see, I look around, what are the existing the translation here and there. I notice lots of translations are quite different, are very different, you see. So mind you, when you read all those translations, of course, be a lot of interpretation, but here the translation given is very literal. Okay, it's very literal. Then, okay, now talking about the stories, I think we all know, there is the elephant. The elephant is called Nalagiri. You see, this Nalagiri elephant, he was a very ferocious elephant, and we know that the cousin, is it cousin of the Buddha's called Devadatta, right? The Devadatta, he is very close to this King Ajatasattu, and this Nalagiri is a noble. It's what they call the royal elephant, a noble elephant of King Ajatasattu. So these Devadattas, he get the permission from the King Ajatasattu, to have permission to have the Nalagiri, you see what they call Nalagiri, to release on the street, right? As the Buddhas, was working for alms, to release and make the elephant drunkard. Okay. So the Devadatta, he arranged the elephant, right? The elephant, so make the elephant, drunkard, intoxicated, to make the elephant more dangerous. So then the Buddhas, together with the Bhikkhu Sanghas, while they were working for Pindapata, then they saw this elephant. They answer, bite me. And sorry, and bite me. Okay. Then you see this elephant, Nalagiri elephant, was drunkard by Devadattas. And then the Buddhas used his loving kindness to subdue the elephant. And it says that the elephant was later kneel down at the Buddha's feet, right, in the homage, the postures. Okay, so this is the stories. This is the stories. Yeah, so I think the loving kindness is very powerful. Okay. So especially at this time, yeah, we really have to practice the loving kindness, and we can overcome all kind of dangers. Okay, so this is the third stories. Then we look at another one. Oh yeah, this is also another one after that. Davanti. In fact, it's Davanta. Then this tongue is removed. TAM tongue is removed because due to the metric, there is only remain Davan only. Okay, so I think I show you actually you see, because they try to follow the Pāli meter, follow the 14 syllable and the 21 measure. Then this tongue is removed. So anyway, when I explain, I have to restore it back. Okita kagamati hatha sudarunanta. Okay, Davanti yojana Angulimala Vanda. Idhibi sankata mano jitava munindu. Tante jasa bhavatute Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, so yeah, this is a very good example. Very good example. You see, for all the Pali verses, you cannot say that, oh, the one make a mistake. No, they follow certain metric. Okay, so in this case, it's a very good example. Dhavanti is Dhavantang. Ti yojana patangul Angulimala. Angulimala Vanda. Okay, so I split it. Okay, so it's due to the meters, so now I restore Davantang ti Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā Pata Angulimala Vanda. Okay, Adhi Abhisankata Mano Jitava Munindu Tang Te Jasa Bhatute Jaya-maṅgala. Okay, so this is how you get it. So this is how, oh, wait, make a mistake here. Okay. So now we analyze. Again, Chittava Munindu, the Lord of Sage, who has conquered, or has conquered. Then Angulimala, I think this is a story of Angulimala. Okay, Idhi Sankatamano. So this is also a nominative singular, a nominative and accusative. But I take it as a nominative because I want to describe the Munindu. It means that having the mind. Abhisangata means prepared. Idhi means psychic power. It means that the Buddhas, okay, he conquered Angulimala, with his psychic power. Okay, so this is called the Idhi Abhisangata. Okay, so yeah, Abhisangata. So the Lord of Sage has conquered, okay, having the mind prepared for psychic power. Okay, so Buddhas display the psychic power to subdue the Angulimala. Okay, so these are all the accusative. You see, Gagga is accusative, Surnanda is accusative. That's why the Davanta is also accusative. Though the tongue is dropped, but when we analyze, we have to put them back. Put them back. We cannot say that the verse is wrong. Okay, so this is how I stress it, in the very beginning. Then the whole thing like Tiyojana Pata Angulimala Vanda is accusative. So these are all the adjective to the Angulimala. Okay, so the Angulimala. Okay, then Tiyojana Pata mean Pata means the path. Okay, Tiyojana mean the 3 yojana. Okay, this is the measurement. You want to know more about the yojana, I think you can find from dictionary. Anyway, yojana is very huge. Okay, and then Dhavantam. Dhavantam means running, is from the root running. It means that the Angulimala, who was running the path of 3 yojana, it means a very long distance. So it means that Angulimala was behind the Buddhas, running for 3 yojanas. Okay. Okay, so the 3 yojanas. So Angulimala. So the Buddha has conquered Angulimala, okay, who was running, okay, the path of 3 yojanas, okay, 3 yojanas. And what else? Yeah, so Darunanta is also terrible. And the Ati means lifted or high, with lifted head. Okay, with lifted head, terrible with lifted head, like holding the sword here. The Okita Kaga, the sword or weapon. Okita is also same thing, lifted the sword. Okay, lifted the sword. So this is terrible with lifted hand, lifted the sword, right? And chasing after the Buddhas. So by this power, may there be joyous victory to you. Okay, so the Lord Sage has conquered, having the mind prepared for psychic power. Angulimala, who was running the power 3 yojanas, terrible with lifted hand, lifted the sword. By this power, may there be joyous victory to you. Okay, so this is the stories of Angulimala. Okay, yeah, I think in our many classes before, we have this Angulimala, the verse. Okay, so we know that this Angulimala, he was very clever while he was still, okay, to demonstrate the skill that he had learned. So he thought in this way, the Ahimsaka, would soon be killed, right? Then he would get his revenge without tarnishing his own reputation. Then this Ahimsaka was very clever and very good, students, and he listened to his students. He listened to his teacher. Then Ahimsaka started to kill the people, right? After killing, people, he cut the finger, and then he wore a garland of fingers around his neck. Okay, so this is the stories. Right? And because of this, he was later, became known as Angulimala. Anguli mean the finger, Mala mean the garland. He was later on, known as Angulimala. Then they have a conversation, and then the Buddha said, okay, he has already stopped, he has stopped the cycle of rebirth. He has stopped the cycle of samsara, but Angulimala has not. Okay, so later on, Angulimala was convinced, and he took refuge in the Buddha, and requesting, for the going forth. And it says that Angulimala was soon became an arahat. Okay, but because of the karma of Angulimala, he killed so many people. That's why each time when he went out for alms rounds, he could not get anything. In fact, he was injured by the people, right? Thrown by the stones, etc., etc. So then on one occasion, it says, on Angulimala's return from alms round, he passed by a house, where a pregnant woman, crying out, in great pain, you see. Then Angulimala, was moved, with compassion. Then he asked the Buddhas, if there anything that he could be done, to help her. Then the Buddha says, okay, the Buddha taught Angulimala, these Angulimala suttas, okay, and told him, you recite this, to release the pain of the woman who was pregnant. Okay, so this is the one. We have seen this. Yatoham bhakini ariyaya jatiya jato nabi janami samchichapana jivita varupeta tena sachena soti te hotu soti gabbasa. Okay, so the meaning here is, sister, since I was born with the noble birth, I have not knowingly or deliberately taken the life of any living beings. By this truth, may you be well, and may your child be well. Okay, so this is a very famous Angulimala suttas. Okay, then after Angulimala's recitation, you recite these suttas, then the woman, pregnant, the pain, reduced, and the baby, then the baby was born, safely. So this is the background of the suttas. Okay, so this one is found in one of the Buddha Jaya-maṅgala Gāthā. Okay, so now, so we finish only up to 4, and the next class, it means that 3 weeks later, no? No, next week. Yeah, we still have class next week. Yeah? Okay, so next week we will complete the Angulimala. Okay, and of course, we will. Or do you have any other sutras want to learn?